Hello everyone, welcome back. I have another journal here for my Etsy shop. This is using Stamperia paper. I can't remember which pack it's from. No, not a clue. Sorry about that. It's obviously roses. This one is cardstock over fabric. It's all glued. I haven't stitched down here yet. This will be stitched as well, but there's Tyvek in the spine, so it should be pretty secure. This one is pretty pinks and greens, as you can see. The sari silk, variegated sari silk that I've just tied around it. And let's have a look inside. It's a little while since I've made this one, so let's see what I've done. Similar style, this sort of eclectic, it's quite stiff, and that's the Tyvek. But that should soften as you use it. So I've added a pocket here, a vintage envelope from 1951, and this has got a 2.5 old pence stamp with Festival of Britain written on it, so that's pretty interesting. A bit of collage here. Little pocket made from a scrap of vintage document, and I've added some labels and a tag and a photograph. This is Millicent, so this journal is called Millicent. So this is some more scrapbook paper. I've added a ruffle. On this side, I've added a little paperclip dangle and a magazine page from a 1920s Good Housekeeping magazine. This is some vintage ledger. I've edged it. It's from 1910, and this is an envelope I've put together, and there's a vintage computer card in there. Quite fragile paper. That ledger sheet is quite fragile, so I have strengthened all the folds with a little bit of washi tape. Got a little bit of stenciling, some tabs. This is vintage Flower Fairy book. This is cut from one of the poems. What's my favourite poem in the, I think it's Song of Mendoin, that's in the Edith Holden book. She lived where the mountains go down to the sea and river and tide confer. It's another of those dangles. On this side there's another vintage envelope from 1915, a little tag. I've made a page from the French embroidery magazine. This is just a thing to decorate the page. Again, I've reinforced it. This is a 1928 document, and in this pocket there's another photograph. It's from the cigarette cards, and up here I've cut out a poem from a botanical book. It's an Emerson quote. A lace trimmed handkerchief with a little dangle there. This is a vintage book page, summer beverages, and a library card. It's in there. I've added a vintage postcard, 1906. A bit more ruffle. This is Golden Rowan of Mendoin was the name they gave to her, so I think I've carried the poem on through. There's a little bow at the top of this page. This is the back of an envelope and a tag. Another book page. That looks like an Amity Bloom digital download. sari silk. This is some brown vellum. It's a bit more of that poem. And the centre I've got glass bead dangle, more ruffle, put a lot in this one. A bit more, Golden Rowan of Mendoan, How Time Stood Still for Her. This is just an image I liked, so that's in that pocket. This is a vintage birthday card. Or possibly Christmas card. Let's have a look. Yes, Christmas from George. Another postcard or image, I'm not sure. It's quite old, but could have been off a birthday card. I'm not sure where that came from. And that's another magazine page from that Good Housekeeping magazine. This is some piano roll paper. There's another dangle on that pocket. And a couple of documents in here, one from 1924, and this is a scrap from, no date, but quite old, and I've made this from a library card. This is an image from an old botanical, from a gardening book, natural foxing, and that's just I liked the colours, how the colours went, so that's wrapped around there. A bit more of that sari silk. Sorry, this is a long video. This is a journal card, I guess, and a lace pocket. A little bit of writing space, although writing in this journal would obviously be quite tricky. You'd have to take everything out. Here we've got bit of old ephemera and another vintage photograph, genuine photograph in there, little slim tag, another photograph. This is just clipped on. This is an envelope from 1949, maybe a letter in that one. This has got a letter in it. It's from a husband to his wife. I think he's working away from home. And a final photograph and the rest of the poem I've just backed and wrapped around that page for you. So that's all of that. Quite chunky. Filled to the brim really, but I really quite like Millicent, so I hope you do too, and thank you for watching.